So for step 18, attaching the front upper arms. Well, you can see we need to grab the D2 pieces. We've got our joints. We've got all sorts of screws and screw pins, etc., etc. And you have this A5 piece. Now, in the end, this is a very important step with the ThunderShot, because in doing some research, the one weak link in this step is this A5 part. So there's the A5 part on the parts tree. I'm not removing it because it's going to get replaced with this extra speed aluminum suspension mount for Tamiya ThunderShot, Terra Scorcher, etc., etc. So this is an aluminum A5 piece, which is supposedly going to strengthen the front end of this car a lot more. And I figured in the build, because this is a weak link, I just think you should at least know about this, so that, you know, if you decide you want to switch this out, you can do so during your build process. So there are all of the pieces that we need, because from what I can see, nothing changes with the actual installation of this piece in this step. But you can see that they use E-clips and these aluminum bars for attaching to the chassis, but I think that's going to be later. I think for this step, we're just going to screw this on just as it shows here. So those are the arms, of course, and of course you see all of the stuff that we need for this step. So I'll set this up and we'll put this together. So I think what we'll do first is let's attach this aluminum A5 piece to our front gearbox, which is just going to sit just like that. And you can see it's still got the notched out areas for the screws. So we've got the MA3s, which are going to go into there. And we'll screw these into place. Now, I'm going to see how that's going to fit at the bottom. No, that's okay. So I'm going to screw this all the way down. So there we go. There is our aluminum A5 piece in place, and you can see that this has to go through here. So that's this one here, the MB2, which is showing, if we do this from that side, it's got to go through this hole all the way through to the other side, just like that. And we have a flange nut on the other end. So I'll spin that on and we'll tighten this up. Just so you can see it, I'll turn this around. So there we go. There is the aluminum A5 piece fully installed. Excellent. So this really should strengthen up the front end. So now that that's done, I think what we'll do is let's get the drive shafts in place, so our joints. So you can see here we've got the longer one. It's showing that we need to grease up the O-ring, which we've done before. So let's do that. Just gonna put a little bit of grease on that, move it around, stick it in the hole, wipe my hands a bit here, and of course once again we need to grab the drive shaft. so that we can push that down into place, just like that. So it's down there, and you can see that we need to grease this up again too. So we'll do the same thing as we did before. Grease up the whole thing. There we go. Not going too crazy, but definitely putting enough on. And we're going to take that and put it through into the other side, just like that. And then we're going to do the same thing for the other side. So we'll take our O-ring. I'm going to grease that up. Stick that into our drive joint, just like that. And grab our drive shaft again, stick that down there, make sure that that sits nice and flat at the bottom, which it is. Excellent. Push that aside. And again, we're going to grease this up as well. There we go. Not going too crazy, but putting enough on. And we'll put that drive joint in there. So there we go. We've got our two drive joints in place. Just going to wipe my hands down. So now that that's done, that's done, we've only got one thing left, which is to put on our arms. So again, based on the positioning of this, you'll notice that facing forward, the spacing or the amount of plastic is facing forward. There's more on this end as opposed to turning it like that. So it needs to be this way. So we'll grab our screw pin, put our arm in there, screw pin in there, and we'll screw it into place. There we go, it's all the way. And the same thing on the other side. So again, the larger area of plastic with more on it is facing forward. And stick that through there. There we go. Screw it all the way down and you'll just know, because once it's at the end, it's at the end. And it's nice and free as well. And funnily enough, you can see that you can't actually get it wrong, because see the notched out area where the plastic is? There is only one way that that really can fit into that hole. Interesting. So there we go. There is our front upper arms with the aluminum piece for step 18. So 18 is done. So we're going to move on to step 19 and attach the front axles.